Hey guys, this is DarkFayte. I'm actually gonna be trying something new today. It's gonna be it's more of a rant type of thing, and the topic is parents who don't know how to control their kids. I fucking hate parents like that. I mean, it's just one of my top pet peeves. What I mean is things like you go to a public get together like with friends or something, and your parents are there, and like some other parents might have like little kids and they just they don't know how to act, like they weren't taught the proper way to act in public situations. And I mean, I know there's a difference between like a kid like being innocently just acting, maybe like they're maybe a little bit hyper or something like that, and I think that's okay. I mean, a kid shouldn't be like quiet and reserved. I mean, that'd be kind of weird if they were. But I mean, there's a difference between like a kid who's just being a kid and a kid who's just like out of control. Um, some more examples would be like you go to a clothing store like Old Navy or wherever, like a big clothing store type of thing, that has adult and kid clothing, and the parents just let their kids run around the whole store, knocking into things, throwing things on the floor. I mean, all that. I just think I mean, that just really pisses me off. I don't really get how the parents would find that acceptable at all, and they actually like laugh it off like it was nothing. I mean, if I was a parent, I would actually be embarrassed if my kid act like that. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I mean, just things like that. Um, Another thing is a restaurant where parents just let their kids roam around the restaurant, like running around the different aisles while there's servers actually bringing food out and stuff like that. I mean, I don't get that at all. I mean, I don't see how they would think that's acceptable. I don't see why they would let their kids do that. I mean, I just think it shows a lot of like they don't really care. I mean, I was brought up that you knew how to act in a public situation. You have proper manners. You know when to talk and when not to talk. I mean, you know when to be respectful of some people. And then there's times where I mean, you could just be like run around and stuff like that. I mean, there's different situations, and I think the kids are old enough. Well, I mean, there's a difference between like an infant kind of kid, like a 1 through 5 or so. I mean, I guess I could understand them since they still don't really grasp things like that. But I mean, 6 years old and up, I think that a kid should be able to understand what the right and wrong things to do are in public situations. I mean, I think that's all good if you're able to do that at home, but I mean, there's a difference between being at home and being in a social environment. I mean, I just don't. I mean, it really just perplexes me. I don't see why parents would be like, "Oh, honey, that's great." I mean, maybe they just don't want to make a scene in the public place, but I mean, if I was doing something wrong, my parents would make sure to tell me and make sure that I don't do it again. I mean, if you don't discipline your kid, I mean, discipline doesn't have to be like hitting them or like anything. That could just be like talking to them about it, putting them in timeout or whatever. Even though I think timeout is completely stupid, but I mean things like that. I mean, I don't see why the parents would let their kids do that, and I don't think it's as much as the kids' fault for doing that than it is the parents, because the kids learn from the parents and their mannerisms. So I don't see. I mean, it must be something with the parents that they don't really care enough about their kid to make sure that they act in a proper manner. I mean, I don't get that at all. Maybe it's just like in a society today. I mean, I'm not very old. I'm only 16, but I mean, when I grew up, I mean, it wasn't as I don't think it was as bad as it is today. Where maybe it's just because parents are getting younger, and I mean, they just don't have their priorities in the right spot. But I mean, it just really pisses me off. And then there's the parents who know that their kid is doing something wrong, but they don't do anything about it, and they'll kind of act like there's nothing happening, even though it's happening right in front of their eyes. There's also the parents that just let their kids do whatever, and don't give them any consequences. They don't care. They more or less say, "Oh, that was good that they did that." I mean, I was never brought up that way, and I don't see why parents would still I mean, maybe that's how they were brought up, but I think there's a time where you should know that your kid is in the wrong, is in the wrong, and you should be able to tell them that. I mean, maybe that's just me. Just things like that. Um, yeah, what do you guys think about this? Just make a comment, video response. You can message me about it. Just things like that. Tell me if you like this whole new rant kind of idea or a discussion kind of thing, and maybe I'll just keep going on those and game reviews, music reviews, movie reviews also. I'll be doing a James Bond movie review probably later tonight when I don't feel like doing it right now, but I'll probably get that up tonight. So tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you're pissed about it. Tell me if you think it's stupid that I talk about that. I mean, whatever. Just hit me up.